What's going on, guys? It's me, June Fan 2016 here, and today we have another model plane review for you guys. Today I'll be reviewing the AeroClassics 1/400 scale Frontier Airlines Airbus A320Neo with Ed, Edwin, and Eddie the penguins on the tail. Really excited to review this model for you guys. It's quite an interesting model to add to my collection. It is an AeroClassics model, so I have never reviewed an AeroClassics model before, so I'm just super excited to do so. And yeah, this is a nice addition to my Frontier Airlines fleet, so I decided to review this model for this video. So yeah, I also have 3 models as well from Frontier Airlines, well 2 models as well, and this model is also included, but hopefully I can get more in the future. And yeah, I'm just super excited to review this model for you guys, so with that being said, as always, I start off with the box first, and then we're going to go into the model and so on. So with that being said, let's start off reviewing the box. Okay, so here's the box of the model itself. Looking quite different compared to the Gemini Jets and NG models boxes, but as you can pretty much see, you got the baby bus models right there. You got the square cutout on where the model is going to be, so not like your Gemini Jets and NGs, there's a cutout. But for AeroClassics models, they do have cutouts right here, so as you can see, it's a square cutout, and it shows the aircraft inside the package. A new age for AeroClassics, 1/4 scale. And as you can see by the sides, you get the aircraft registration, November 344 Foxtrot Romeo, and the aircraft itself. AC 419978 is probably the item number of this model right here. Frontier A320Neo, Ed, Edwin, and Eddie the penguins. And yeah, that's also says the item number. Here's an Airbus A321 on this side, and then you got adult collectible models and all your warnings right there. And then you got the A319 and A320 right there. Moving on to the back side, you got the A320 the A320 family, excuse me, excluding the A318. And as you can see by the top text, AeroClassics presents the exciting new range baby bus models. And then you got your barcode right there, and of course made in China and so on. So yeah, nothing to go over this box too much. It's kind of like a plain and simple box. It's kind of like that for most of these AeroClassics A320 boxes, so it's pretty much the same. But other than that, I think this is quite an interesting box, and yeah, very interesting to review this for you guys. Now let's move on to the model itself. And here's the model itself, looking absolutely very nice in 1/400 scale. Really nice to have this model in my collection, and yeah, it's a nice addition to my Frontier Airlines fleet. I do need to build more of my Frontiers though, but yeah, really nice to have this model regardless. So of course we're going to start at the port side at the very front, with the cockpit windows right there, and then you got the nose shape of the aircraft. Honestly, I think AeroClassics still did a great job on their A320 nose shape, on their mold of the A320. I mean, like, not as best as compared to the NG version, but I think they still managed to get it almost just right. So, yeah, as you can see by the front, you can really see how it's nearly as accurate to, like, the actual aircraft itself. And then you got the pitot tubes right there, so here are the pitot tubes. You got some stack port detail as well. And then you got the Ed, Edwin, and Eddie the penguins tiles right there. You got your L1 boarding door right there, and then your nose landing gear and nose landing gear door. Not much in detail, but it's an AeroClassics model, so I can take that. Here's your stack ports right there, and some extra panels right there. And then moving on to the middle section of the aircraft right there. Of course, Frontier is an all-economy aircraft, so they're seating like all-economy seats. So it'll run from here all the way to the very back of the aircraft right there. And then you got the Frontier billboard tiles, excuse me. So here are the Frontier billboard tiles right there. And then you got some kind of like line. It has like a half an arrow. So it'll start from here all the way. Well, it will actually end off here, and then there'll be like a space. And that is actually present on many of Frontier's airplanes, because I think it has to deal with the Frontier billboard titles, excuse me. And then it'll start from here, and then it'll end all the way over there where the flyfrontier.com tiles are. And here are the engines right there, looking very nice. I do like the details of the engines. Now, unlike Frontier's A320Neos as compared to other airlines in the US that operate the A320Neo, they operate with LEAP 1A engines. So I think Frontier is starting to use Pratt & Whitney engines on their A321Neos, but most of the A320Neo fleet consists of LEAP 1A engines from CFM. So I think it's quite interesting right there. And also the engines are proportionally sized, which is a good thing for AeroClassics right there. Next up, you got the main landing gear right there, and here's the emergency exit doors right there. And then you got the sharklet right there with the red beacon light. So as you can pretty much see in the sharklet, on the outside sharklet, you don't see any like logos or anything, some kind of like details on this thing, like the sharklet. It's just a plain blue, but looking at the inner sharklet, as you can see right there from the starboard wing, you can see the penguins right there. I think how they're printed out the sharklet is okay. It almost kind of seems identical. I can see them, but yet again, it's an AeroClassics. The printing on like a very small like piece like a sharklet is kind of difficult, and I think AeroClassics did an okay job on printing the penguins and the sharklet right there, so very nice. And here's the wing detail right there. You got your emergency exit door, so let me just grab my pencil again. So here's the emergency exits, light indicators right there, and then you got your flap track fairings and the cold soul fuel frost details right there. You got your leading edge details as well, and your trailing edge details, slats and flaps, and then you can't really see much of the flight spoilers or ground spoilers of the ailerons. But, I mean, like, AeroClassics, they're not like Gemini Jets or NG, but at least their detail is okay. And here's the engine pylon right there. Moving on to, like, the back area of the aircraft right there. So, here's the back area of the plane. You got the flyfrontier.com tiles right there. You also got your US flag right there, and the aircraft registration, November 344 Foxtrot Romeo. And like I said, as I mentioned, this is where the blue line starts after, like, this whole space. And then it'll run all the way over here to the very end where there's like a rectangle over there. So quite interesting right there on Frontier's livery. And here's the L2 boarding door right there. Not L2 boarding door, just an L2 door. So although like the L2 door can also act as a boarding door as well. That is if like one airport does not have gates to occupy these and they board passengers from both the front and the back. So it might be used as an L2 door at some point, but commonly the L2 door is not used as a boarding door. And then moving on to the empennage of the aircraft, you got the APU and the horizontal stabilizers and the penguins. So Ed, Edwin, and Eddie looking very cute, and I think the printing is okay. I can't hardly tell which one is Ed, which one is Ed, like Ed, Edwin, and Eddie. I can't hardly tell which one is which, but yeah, they're the penguins right there. And yeah, very cute. And as I can see, maybe there's engine fan blades. There's some nice engine fan blade details though, which I'll add. It's a plus for AeroClassics right there. And then moving on to the starboard section of the aircraft, of course. Oops. And then, yeah, of course you got your R door, so nothing to complain about. And then you got your forward cargo bin right there, the forward cargo bin. And then moving on to the back area, you got the aft cargo bin right there. And I kind of like, because I remember taking RAM school and they mentioned something about this door right there. I couldn't recall what that is, but I think this is like a storage compartment, I'm guessing. But yeah, there's all like the cargo doors right there. And now for a top view of this aircraft. So let me just set her like this. So here's the top view of the aircraft. Unfortunately, there is no antennas, which I think that's kind of like reasonable because like AeroClassics does not like to put antennas on all their airplanes. And I think that's reasonable because like what if they fall out? Like what if they fall out? Then an antenna is like a very tiny piece, excuse me. So yeah, quite reasonable on why AeroClassics does not want to put antennas on their models right there, but I'm okay with that. And at least that's quite reasonable to say the least. Here's the bottom section of the aircraft. You got your stand hole, like a stand hole right there. And how about these details? So you can really pretty much see like the nose landing gear door and the main landing gear door right there. And I think that's also a rat turbine as well. So quite some detailing at the bottom, like the bottom right there. So very nice from AeroClassics. Here's the front section of the aircraft looking very nice. The wings aren't as wing flexed, so that's great right there. And then moving on to the back section of the aircraft. Here is the back section of the model. So yeah, a very nice model from AeroClassics, and while it's not the best representation of a Frontier A320Neo, at least their mold is okay, and yeah, I think they also did a great job on the livery as well. I do like on how they're able to like get the colors of the Frontier livery, and yeah, the printing of the penguins is also very nice too, so yeah, that's plus points for them. And yeah, really nice model from AeroClassics, and it's perfect for my collection, and I do got a lot to talk about this like aircraft right there. So yeah, very nice model right there. And we're not quite done yet, as I'm also going to be going the background information of this particular registration. So with that being said, let's move on to the background information of this particular aircraft. Alright, let's go over the background information of this Frontier A320Neo registered November 344 Foxtrot Romeo. So let's start off with some information from Planespotters.net. We'll go into Airfleets later. So The manufacturer serial number, excuse me, it's kind of like almost a tongue twister almost to say that. So once again, the manufacturer serial number is 8639er. The age of this aircraft is 5 years. The test registration of this airplane is Foxtrot Whiskey Zulu Mike Whiskey, and the airframe status says that it is active as of today. The production site is Mobile, Alabama, so that is the Mobile, Alabama plant for Airbus right there. And it was last updated on October 17th, 2023. Excuse me for that. And as for the remarks, she was ferried from BFM to Tampa International Airport on December 13th, 2018 on delivery. So I think that's the delivery date of this aircraft right there. And once again, this aircraft name is Ed, Edwin, and Eddie the Penguins, and the fleet number is 344. Now as I pull up on airfleets.net, the first flight date of this aircraft is December 3rd of 2018. And once again, as I talked about already, this aircraft is operated with two CFMI LEAP 1A26 turbofan engines. And yeah, as I talked about already, Frontier's A320Neo planes mostly operate with LEAP 1A engines. Now, as I look through the operations, like the operators of the aircraft, the delivery date of this aircraft is December 13th, 2018, which I think I talked about already. So yeah, that's basically it for all the information. I know it was some short information. This aircraft did not have much of a history. It wasn't bought by other airlines like previous airlines before Frontier acquired it. It was newly delivered to Frontier in 2018. And yeah, it's in the month of December. But other than that, really nice to see Ed, Edwin, and Eddie on Frontier's fleet. And yeah, the penguins are very cute to say the least. And I'm not quite done yet because I also got to talk about, I got a lot of things to say about this aircraft registration, November 344, as I did see her at Sacramento International Airport somewhere around mid-November, so kind of like November 14th around that time. So yeah, it was around the morning, and yeah, she arrived from Denver International Airport as Frontier Flight 627, and I'm very fortunate to catch this aircraft, and well, yeah, I was about to get position on my plane spotting equipment and all that stuff, and arrivals are coming in from the south side, so south side of the airport to be exact, so I was being positioned to spot on runway 35 left until I saw Ed, Edwin, and Eddie landing. So I didn't have much time to take a picture as she was on short final, so I just provided a video for you guys. So here's that video playing right now. Overall, I think the video turned out very nice, and yeah, it was like perfect lighting on that day. So yeah, really nice to catch her, and yeah, overall, really nice to see this aircraft registration, therefore seeing Ed, Edwin, and Eddie, because the penguins, as I said, are very cute. And yeah, really nice tale from the Frontier Airlines fleet. So yeah, that's basically it for this video, so without being said, let's get into the conclusion. Unfortunately, I did not have much time to get the turntable, so this is what you'll see on the outro, but in the thumbnail, you'll see the turntable, so yeah. But other than that, this is a nice model from AeroClassics, and yeah, while AeroClassics is not as great, well, I mean, like, I'm not saying, like, AeroClassics is not as, like, great as compared to Gemini and NG. It's kind of like the backbone to, like, Gemini Jets and NG, because, like, they still produce some great molds, but it's kind of like mostly on the retro planes is where they're good at. But other than that, it's nice to have a Frontier model in my collection, and overall, nice to have Frontier's A320Neo with Ed, Edwin, and Eddie. And I also got Poppy and Baja as well, so yeah. Let me know if you want me to do a review on those models as well. But other than that, it's a nice model from AeroClassics, and I would highly recommend getting a Frontier A320Neo at some point, if ever either of these retailers do so. So yeah, but other than that, it's a nice model from my collection, and I'm really glad to have this for my Frontier fleet. So, that's it for today's video, so I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and turn on that post notification bell so you won't miss a video like this anytime soon. So, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Anyways, good night.